Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to do a video today. I'm just going to talk today. One of the things this whole situation the world is in now, I've seen things that I never really talk about. There's things that I would hope not come true, but they have. And I'm just very disappointed. I'm disappointed when I look at the news and how the world handles their issues. I'm disappointed in people and how they handle their issues. How is anything ever going to change? And I know it's all based on frustration, hatred. It's just crazy in a lot of ways what is actually happening. It's not that it didn't happen before, has it? How is it that the human race has still not been able to discover a new way of dealing with their social issues, dealing with issues in general? How is it that there's people that are still persecuted? People that still suffer? How is that still happening? How is it that people can't deal with a difficult situation in a way that can truly change things instead of reverting back to being chaotic, reverting back to being an animal? I guess when I look at the world, I see hope. I see potential. There's times like this, I just look at the world and I shake my head. I said, what is the point? What is the point? It's extremely difficult to watch the reactions of people. Do you think I see people trying to make a difference and revert to barbarism, chaos, fighting amongst themselves, fighting with police, fighting. So many I try not to follow the news very much. It's pretty hard to ignore it lately, though. Just watching people's reactions, watching the government's reactions, the police reactions. Well, I see nothing but disappointment in everybody. There is a few that are not. I just look at the world and wonder, how can nobody truly see how to change things? How by using the same thing over and over again has the same result. It's like watching a bad movie repeat itself all throughout history. It's very frustrating. It's funny. When I first did a journey a long time ago, it's been months now, I guess, when COVID just happened, and I did a journey, and I seen a lot of rioting, a lot of fires, a lot of and it's like disappointing that that's the way it's turning out. And it's all during this COVID time where people are already frustrated. And I know things are built up and people are just frustrated with so many things. But violence, chaos is never the answer to change things. It is an old energy that needs to just go away. Because all it does is create more chaos. And then what you stand for and what you try to bring to the surface gets lost. Sometimes it does bring positive change, but at what cost? There'd be a lot of people that would argue differently. When I look at how people handle their problems, it makes what I do all that much more difficult, because I try to give people a different perspective, a different way of looking at things. And then you have to look at how things change and how things move and what is actually happening. And it's like, you think people that are so intelligent would see that doing the same thing over and over and over again does not change the result. Human race continues to kill, pillage, take what they want, make excuses in a difficult time. It's like a bad apocalyptic movie where everybody always reverts to barbarism. It's like, it's actually really sad. It's sad because there's so much more to life. There's so much more when you see things in a different way. You see the potential in everything, and then it feels like you're lost in an ocean of people that feel completely different, that don't care about the world, that don't care about the trees, the animals, the oceans. They don't care that they're poisoning their own water. They don't care that they're poisoning the air that they breathe. How can you not care about these things? How can you not care about each other? Who gives a shit what race you are, what color you are? It means nothing. Everybody is equal. Everybody has a purpose. How the hell is an alien race going to come down here in a world that we can't even accept a slight variation of color? A slight different color of your friggin' skin. a slightly different belief. What would you do if an alien being came down that was completely different? Lock it away and do experiments on it. Could be one of the most loving beings in the universe. And people wouldn't give a shit. Because they don't give a shit about each other. They don't give a shit about anything except themselves. And everybody just jumps along the bandwagons. Comes out of the woodwork. When everything quiets down, they go back in their closets and shut the door. And the cycle continues until something else happens and everybody comes out of the closet again, and the whole process just repeats itself. No one truly thinking for themselves. No one actually caring about their neighbors, caring about all these people. Yeah, it's a great idea when there's a demonstration going on to start setting fires, getting in fights, looting people's businesses. These people worked hard for these businesses. They spent almost all their lives to try to create these businesses, and you don't have the right to go in and take things from them. But people feel like they do. And they make stupid memes about it. It's just disappointing. And there'll still be people that would laugh at a video like this because they're too naive, too young, too unable to see something different, something better. They're in so much pain that they can't even see past themselves. How are you supposed to deal with blind rage? People that are blind walking through the streets that don't care about anything except themselves. I know people say that I grew up in a world and I never had anything. Well, neither did I. I was raised in a family. My father left when I was young. My mom got cancer really young and died. And even I started work when I was 11 because my mother didn't have any. I was working, doing odd jobs when I was 9 so I could afford the things that I wanted. I worked for the things that I worked hard for them. But some people would feel that they have the right to take things from other people because they didn't have everything when they're born. They were born into privilege. I like the word privilege. What is privilege? Like simply an excuse for not trying hard. I never had anything handed to me. Nothing. But I still try to help the world in the best way I can. I don't go and rape, pillage, murder. It's cowards that do that. People that make excuses up all the time because they don't want to go out of their way to try to better themselves. Yes, life is hard. Everybody's life is hard. So stop making excuses and going out and do something about it. If you live in a poor neighborhood, move whenever you can. Get an education, get a job, do whatever the hell you have to do. Stop making excuses. There is parts of the world that is very difficult to do. But going and creating riots is not the answer. Spreading chaos is not the answer. Making people accountable does not have to be violent. People ask me things about the future and I don't like to say it because it's just, I don't want to spread fear just in case I might not be 100% right or even wrong in any way, because the future is what it is. We have the ability to mold and change some events. One of the things I do notice the people are all the loudest are the ones that make the change, because we allow that to happen that way. There's all kinds of ways that we can change things without creating violence to do so. But people aren't willing to work together. We could say to the world, well, we want to stop pollution, so let's first start with eliminating and buying green energy, but that's hard because a lot of people don't have the money to do so. So how do you fix that? Maybe the people that can afford to buy it stop buying it. But then there's so many other things attached to that, and that's a really big subject to get into. Because we know green energy creates its own issues, and so does oil. But we all know oil is a huge, massive problem. So why aren't we coming up with solutions, and the governments back them solutions? We continue to put people in power that don't have our best interests at heart, because we feel like nobody's ever going to ever have our best interests at heart. What kind of thinking is that? That our governments are never going to care for us, so why would they ever care? Why would our government ever be created if all we think about is that they're there to screw us over? That they're never going to help us? Well, what, you're sending the energy out there that will never change. Music can soothe the soul, calm the mind, relax the body. So today, I share a message of love in a very difficult time. I know I'm disappointed, but there's still the ability for people to change. But I fear it's too late for that. It feels like people have already made a choice. Some people will follow what I believe in, or something similar. Because everybody does have the right to choose whatever they want to. The path of love is not an easy one, because when you follow a path like that, you soon discover what that means. And it's really hard to watch a world that follows chaos over love. It can be a very lonely existence. So you look at the world, see its potential, and maybe get disappointed repeatedly throughout your life. But you still try to show as many people as possible what is possible. through hope, through love, courage, forgiveness. All we can do is keep trying until they can't try anymore, and hope somewhere along the line the things that you've done made some type of difference. So if we ever choose to come here or our children live here, that we did something to make a difference. So what do I feel of what is happening in the world? It is disappointment. But it is also a time for the world to really look at themselves. Look at what is going on around you, and is this what you want for your children? Is this what you want for yourself? Is this how you want to live your life? So I ask everyone to visualize a world where there is none of this stuff in it. To be able to forgive the people, forgive yourself, and the idea that the world can and will become a better place. There is a divide, and that divide will become permanent. And then we're going to be going two different directions, two different realities, so to speak. So I don't have the right to tell people not to be a certain way. But I know I'm disappointed in the way the world reacts to their issues, to their problems. I see ways of dealing with things that don't need to be done through violence. But there's never enough people like me to be able to make a difference, because the majority of people will do whatever is going on at the moment instead of continuing to hold on to that energy to transform this world. Instead, they go back in their closets and shut the door until the next bandwagon comes and they all jump on it. Afraid to think for themselves. Afraid to stand up for what they believe in. God, most people don't even know what they believe in anymore. So many people are lost, scared. There's so many people that lie, mislead. This is a very confusing time for a reason. It's given people a really hard look at themselves. So go in the mirror and take a hard look at what is going on. And say, do we really want to continue to go down a road that just keeps going in a circle over and over and over again, never changing? You cannot fight chaos with chaos, because all it does is create more chaos. Thank you very much, everyone, and I needed to say that. It's amazing how hurt people are, how sensitive they are, how much they attack people for being and saying something that is slightly different. because they don't agree with it. So they brutally attack them, physically attack them. Let's bring our hearts together and continue to try till we cannot try anymore. Thank you very much. If you wish to do a journey with me, you can visit my website at almondrossawakening.com. You can go to my Northern Light page at Joseph Bradley Auroras and hiddenaurораspirits.com. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.